Today we're talking about obtaining instrument ratings without hesitation, repetition, or deviation starting now. To obtain an instrument rating which enables a pilot to fly under instrument flight rules, candidates must meet several stringent requirements covering knowledge, experience, skills, and medical fitness. This rating is essential for pilots who need to rely solely on instruments during flight, especially in poor visibility or controlled airspaces. In terms of knowledge, applicants must demonstrate an in-depth understanding of critical subjects. This includes knowledge of air law, covering the rules and regulations specific to IFR operations and related air traffic services procedures. Pilots must also be proficient in aircraft general knowledge, including the use, limitations, and serviceability of avionics, electronic devices, and instruments essential for IFR flight. This also covers handling instrument failures, such as issues with gyroscopic systems or autopilot. Another critical area is flight performance and planning, which emphasizes pre-flight preparations, IFR flight planning, and the proper procedures for filing ATC flight plans and managing altimeter settings. Human performance is another key aspect where pilots must understand how human factors, especially in instrument flight, impact decision-making and safety, with a focus on threat and error management. Meteorology is essential for interpreting weather reports and forecasts, particularly in recognizing dangerous weather phenomena such as icing or frontal systems, and in learning to avoid hazardous weather. Navigation skills under IFR are also crucial, requiring a solid understanding of radio navigation aids and the reliability of navigation systems for all phases of flight, including takeoff, en route navigation, and approach. Additionally, operational procedures involve interpreting aeronautical documentation such as NOTAMs and instrument approach charts while following emergency procedures and obstacle clearance criteria. Radio telephony is equally important as pilots must be proficient in IFR communication procedures and know how to handle communication failures. In terms of skill, candidates must show a high degree of competence in IFR operations. This involves recognizing and managing threats and errors, operating the aircraft within its limitations, and performing all maneuvers with smoothness and accuracy. Pilots must exhibit sound judgment and airmanship, particularly in handling abnormal situations or emergencies. Those who wish to fly multi-engine aircraft must demonstrate the ability to manage the aircraft under instrument conditions with one engine inoperative, either real or simulated. It is essential for pilots to maintain control of the aircraft under all conditions to ensure safe and successful outcomes for every maneuver and procedure. For experience, applicants must log a specified amount of flight time. They are required to have at least 50 hours of cross-country flight time as PIC, with at least 10 hours in the aircraft category they are seeking the rating for. Additionally, they must log a minimum of 40 hours of instrument time, which can include up to 30 hours in a flight simulator. Of this, at least 10 hours must be spent receiving dual instruction under the supervision of an authorized instructor in the actual aircraft category. Flight instruction focuses on key aspects of IFR operations. Pilots must gain at least 10 hours of dual instruction that covers pre-flight procedures, including the use of flight manuals, air traffic services documentation, and IFR flight planning. They also learn to manage transitions to instrument flight after takeoff, perform standard instrument departures and arrivals, handle en route procedures, and execute instrument approaches and missed approach procedures. This training also involves dealing with emergencies and abnormal situations under IFR. For pilots seeking privileges on multi-engine aircraft, additional instruction is provided on managing the aircraft under instrument conditions. The privileges granted to the holder of an instrument rating allow the pilot to operate aircraft within the appropriate category under IFR conditions. If they meet the requirements for multi-engine aircraft, they can also fly multi-engine planes under IFR. Pilots can hold instrument ratings for multiple aircraft categories, provided they meet the specific requirements for each. Finally, applicants must meet certain medical fitness standards. Those holding a private pilot license and seeking an instrument rating must meet the hearing requirements for a Class 1 medical assessment, although it is recommended that they meet the full physical, mental, and visual standards of a Class 1 medical certificate. In summary, obtaining an instrument rating significantly broadens a pilot's operational capabilities, allowing them to fly in low visibility or adverse weather conditions that require instrument navigation. It is a critical certification for pilots aiming to increase their professionalism, particularly those involved in commercial aviation or flying in complex airspace. The extensive training ensures pilots can safely and effectively manage flights where precise navigation and advanced aircraft management skills are essential. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more aviation content.